Taipei, an electric city full of surprises. In just 48 hours, I had my fortune told by a bird, hiked to jaw-dropping views at sunset, fished for prawns with locals, and ate food out a toilet. Excuse me. From vibrant night markets to the top of Taipei 101, my friend Belle and I explored the hidden gems of this gorgeous city in less than 2 days. This whirlwind of a trip was nothing like I expected and way better than I ever imagined, so buckle up, because I think you're gonna like this one. We touched down in Taipei early afternoon, and the first task was to grab EasyCards, the key to public transport around the city. Just tap it, and you're in. As you can probably hear, I was very excited by the airport train. Oh, seats! And yes, those seats were extremely comfortable, but what really had me hooked was watching the city start to open up before us. Our first stop, Taipei Main Station, to change trains, and then we finally arrived at Ximending, the buzzing heart of Taipei, but more on that later, because now we were in a race against sunset. We quickly jumped straight into an Uber, winding through the Taiwanese roads to the iconic Elephant Mountain. Now, this hike is no walk in the park. It's incredibly steep with what feels like a million stairs, but just when we were ready to take a breather, the trees opened up, revealing the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. It was like a little reward, a pink and orange glow urging you to carry on. And carry on we did. And once we reached the summit and the sunset began to fade, Taipei began to glow. Lights flickered to life and Taipei 101 stood tall, its beacon piercing the night, a perfect blend of nature and city. And then as our hike came to an end, Taipei's magic was about to begin. So we just arrived at Longshan Temple Underground Mall. Just here. Now apparently downstairs there are some fortune tellers. Let's go and find out what the future holds. Downstairs the atmosphere was hushed. Most of the booths were empty, apart from one woman offering tarot readings, but that wasn't quite what we were looking for. Then, cutting through the silence, we heard it, a sharp, cheerful cheep. The noise led us to a small, unassuming booth. Inside it was a woman who didn't speak any English. She smiled, motioned us inside, and then called her daughter Mandy to translate everything she was about to tell us. And that's when the magic began. In front of us, a tiny bird hopped into action, scanning a row of colourful cards with surprising precision. One by one, it carefully selected 3 cards, each one holding a piece of our future. At first, we weren't sure what to make of it, but as Mandy translated her mother's words, we couldn't help but be drawn in. She described details about our lives and characters that felt strangely accurate. One of the questions Belle and I both asked was, how will our 2025 look? And there was a shift. Something changed. It was as if in those few moments this psychic woman and her 2 omniscient birds knew exactly what our future entailed. They suggested it would be best for me to leave where I was living in Hong Kong and move to another country in May. And so I'm gonna do just that. And so, with clarity on our future, we headed to Huaxi Night Market, one of Taipei's oldest, packed with delicious street food. First up, we tried scallion pancakes, and the guy went a little heavy on the chili.
A little bit.
Oh. Just a little bit.
No problem.
How about that? Taiwan. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay, take care, okay?
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, have a nice trip back to Hong Kong.
Thank you, sir. Fueled up, we had a go at one of the carnival games on offer.
Yay!
With the hope of winning one of the big prizes on display. Hey! But unfortunately, the lady working there had other ideas for us. Oh, wow!
Oh my gosh, these are actually super cute.
What is it?
Not so hand wipes.
Wet wipes. 谢谢. Bye bye. You know, Huaxi is a great street to walk around with so much to see and do. And before we left, we got some sesame sweet potato balls and a sugar cookie on a stick, which nearly broke all of my teeth. It was then starting to get late, but we squeezed in a quick walk through Ximending, where Taipei's nightlife was in full swing, with its famous rainbow crosswalk lighting up the streets. Shimending was loud, bright and chaotic, all in the best way. A whirlwind of lights, music and late night energy. But Taipei isn't just neon and noise. The next morning we swapped the chaos of the city for Dadaocheng. Once the beating heart of Taipei's tea and textile trade, a place where merchants sailed up the river, filling these streets with the scent of spices, fabric and fortune. Now, it's a quieter kind of magic, but still a beautiful start to the day. From there, we hopped in an Uber, ready for our next adventure. Except the driver had other plans. Dropped off in the wrong spot, we were greeted by a group of very opinionated cockatoos. A short walk and several questioning glances at Google Maps later, we finally saw it. Prawn fishing. This place was buzzing, not with conversation, but with the sound of flicking fishing lines and locals tucking into their prawn lunch. 400 Taiwanese dollars for 1 hour, a rod, and more bait than we knew what to do with. Now all we needed? Someone to show us how to use it all. Luckily, a hero arrived. No English, no hesitation, just pure prawn wisdom. After not having much luck in the corner, he moved us to the prime spot. Now, it was all about patience. And as we watched another guy opposite skillfully reel one in, there was a pull on our line. And naturally, neither of us wanted to actually touch it, so our new friend stepped in once again, saving the day. You know, I can see why this is a major pastime in Taipei. It's so relaxing, just sitting by the water, chatting with friends. And then, after a bit more waiting, another one. Except this time, I pulled too fast on the line, and instead of landing straight in our hands, it landed on my jumper. By the end, we had 3 prawns. Meanwhile, some people opposite had enough to practically run a seafood restaurant. And then the final step, you cook them yourself. Fresh, smoky, straight from the tank. But 2 prawns each didn't quite fill us up. So we went looking for something more substantial and found this. The modern toilet restaurant, where everything, seats, cups, and even the food was designed with one thing in mind. The bathroom. I'll be honest, it was bizarre. The names of everything on the menu was truly unique, and the food itself, let's just say the theming did most of the heavy lifting. Just finished our meal in the modern toilet restaurant and stumbled across some claw machines. Now in here, they've got some interesting stuff like a capybara in a barrel, but also some earbuds. Now, I don't know about you, but I sometimes have really dirty ears. So, let's get them cleaned. Didn't work. Claw machines are everywhere in Taipei, stocked with weird items like dried food keyrings, condoms, and cats. I tried another 4 times to get my ears cleaned, but was unsuccessful. Belle then had to go at trying to win one of the big capybaras, but the machine threw it away and laughed in our face. I may or may not have flipped off the camera. Okay, one last go. One last chance to claw all our lost money back. Lined up perfectly, straight down, and... So, with no earbuds, no capybaras, and definitely no dignity, it was time for our final stop of the trip. Taipei 101. Once the tallest building in the world. When you're at the bottom, you really get a sense of its scale. This towering symbol of ambition reaching into the sky. And then once you get to the top, above it all, there's peace. The noise of the city softens. The chaos becomes calm. We watched as the sun dipped, casting Taipei in gold once more. From the streets to the peaks, Taipei's contrasts are what make it unforgettable. And now, up here at the top, it all feels complete. A final moment to soak it in, and the perfect place to say goodbye.